with the driver, we can feel a much bigger weight shift off of the ball sooner. And the reason being is because we want to get the weight shift towards the target sooner.
Yeah.
Because again, we want to be backing up. So golf swing is a short amount of time. We kind of got to do the backswing weight shift early on to allow us to then get back on that lead side. So with the driver, again, you're going to feel a lot more pressure or weight shift away from the target pretty early, and for a much longer time as well, right? So in comparison to an iron, it's just happening really early, and then we're really kind of pushing forward, continuing the whole time on the downswing. With the driver, we're looking to have a weight shift for a long time to the right, keep it going, and then sort of as we reach the top of the swing, we're doing a weight shift, but a very quick one and an aggressive one.
Yeah.
So we're doing it for a short amount of time, but a lot.
I want to talk to you today about Live View Golf. Now, you guys hear me say all the time that you need feedback when you're practicing. You need to know if you're actually doing what you're trying to do, and the best way to give yourself feedback ultimately is video. And not only is video the best way to give yourself feedback, but being able to see yourself simultaneously as you're doing a movement is the best form of video feedback. It's the best way I've seen to make changes in your swing and be able to correlate the differences between your feels and your reels. Live View is super easy to use and set up. Simply set it up behind or in front of you. You connect it with your iPad or phone, pop that on the ground. You can actually do your practice, see yourself as you're doing it, the best way to expedite your process. I encourage you guys to check out Live View Golf. We'll put a link in the description down below with a coupon code. Hey guys, Eric here with my good buddy JT Thomas out at the Don Law Golf Academy at Osprey Point Golf Club in Boca Raton, Florida. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about the weight shift, and really specifically the weight shift differences between the driver and the irons. A couple of key differences maybe you haven't heard before that can really help your ball striking with each one of those clubs. We'll talk weight shift in general, but then the differences between those two. If you guys are up in the Northeast, JT has an awesome indoor facility, Dollar Bill Divot Club up in Staten Island, New York. We'll put that description or link down in the description down below. Would highly suggest going out there, checking out, getting some practice in, doing some lessons while you're indoors during the winter. If you can't make it up there, JT and I would still love to work with you through CogornoGolf.com. That's where we can work with you online. You can send in your swings, take those online lessons. They're super effective. Everything you need to really take your game to the next level. We would love to work with you. We'll put that link down below. If you guys do like this video too, click that like button, click that comment or subscribe button, leave a comment down below. What do you think about the video? What you think about weight shift, maybe some things you need help in your swing. We would love to keep the conversation going afterwards. So with all that said, JT, weight shift in the golf swing, and really let's talk some general stuff, but let's talk driver versus iron.
Yes.
So maybe let's flip flop spots, JT. Yeah. So we got an iron to start with. So maybe some weight shifting concepts of how it might be a little bit different with that iron in your hand versus the driver.
Yeah, so this goes basically back to how we're trying to hit this golf ball. With an iron, we're trying to hit down on the ball. With a driver, we're trying to hit up on the ball, or pretty flat or level. So the way that the weight shift allows us to do that with this iron is the feeling is going to be much more gradual of a weight shift towards the target with an iron. Versus a driver, we don't want to be shifting the whole time in the downswing because that'll keep us hitting down on this ball. Iron, we want to keep hitting down on the ball. It's fantastic. So we're trying to get the weight shift for us on this iron is something where we're going to feel like our body continues to move forward almost the entire downswing into the follow through. I guess with the driver, we're going to feel a little bit.
Let me give you that one, JT, to just show up motion.
Absolutely, yeah. So with the driver here, I guess I'll tee this up a little higher. Help us out here. We're going to feel this weight shift actually be a little bit more aggressive early on in the downswing, so that we are able to be backing up by the time that we're hitting this ball, getting our sternum more behind the ball, allowing us to hit up on it a little more. So with the driver, that feeling is going to be kind of up to the top, a quick and aggressive weight shift by our lead arm parallel to the ground, and then the rest of the time we're really feeling backing up, sternum moving backwards, almost even like our weight is going backwards to really help us hit up on this ball. Yeah. So those are really kind of the big differences between the iron and the driver. Gradual weight shift, progressive all the way through with the iron, and then with the driver, kind of more of a an aggressive one, and then a backing up out of it, almost weight on the back foot, allowing us to hit up on the ball.
Yeah, love it. So let me give you the iron back again. Let's say just some like super casual stock checkpoints for someone. Let's say they got like a 7 or an 8 iron.
Yep.
Like at setup, are we looking like 50-50? What happens during the backswing? Like some numbers with that?
Yeah, so set up with an iron, we're looking 50-50, maybe even 60-40, a little bit more to the front side.
Yeah.
And then we're feeling like that stays pretty constant, maybe a slight shift off the ball into our right leg, just because the mass of our body is going that way. Our arms weigh something, our club weighs something. So when we move the club to the right of us, we're gonna feel some weight shift back into our right foot. But again, we're looking to have a gradual, continual weight shift throughout the downswing to allow us to always hit down on the ball, have good contact. Obviously, that's what most guys struggle with, is having good contact with the irons. And a way that we can do that is making sure that weight is always shifting forward, kind of in the downswing and the follow through.
Yeah, like priority one for all of us is, hey, I want to hit the ball pretty darn solid every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
And then I'll curve, figure out after that, whatever. Like, I want to hit it solid. So the number one thing to do with the irons is the shifting forward part. I think we would both say too, in terms of the setup position, and especially on the way back, there's some options, right? You look at some like old school Tiger, 97, 2000, bigger mass shift off the ball, bigger pressure shift, and then you just move back more. Arnold Palmer stays much more. So I think there's different models, right? But either way, they're going forward on the way down.
Yes.
Right, moving the low point forward.
Yeah.
So let's say we put the driver in. Let's say we get the driver back in there, and same sort of things, or are there any differences with that in terms of like starting points, backswing?
Yeah, so with the driver, we can feel a much bigger weight shift off of the ball sooner. And the reason being is because we want to get the weight shift towards the target sooner.
Yeah.
Because again, we want to be backing up. So golf swing is a short amount of time. We kind of got to do the backswing weight shift early on to allow us to then get back on that lead side. So with the driver, again, you're going to feel a lot more pressure or weight shift away from the target pretty early, and for a much longer time as well, right? So in comparison to an iron, it's just happening really early, and then we're really kind of pushing forward, continuing the whole time on the downswing. With the driver, we're looking to have a weight shift for a long time to the right, keep it going, and then sort of as we reach the top of the swing, we're doing a weight shift, but a very quick one and an aggressive one.
Yeah.
So we're doing it for a short amount of time, but a lot.
Got it, okay. Let me hop in there, JT, and let me do one or two with the irons just to start with, just to go over some of these pieces. And so when I take my setup position, I'm feeling, and I know we said sort of off camera more, the pressure in the feet and the weight shifting is really happening more as a reaction to the mass of my body moving, right? My upper body moving back and forth. And I think that's a key concept. I think also a key concept is when we watch these videos, these golf videos with like pressure in the feet, I think looking at where the body is in space is a key part. Because I could look at a picture of someone and they've got 70% under their right foot and their trail hip has gone 0 to the right, right? Like there's a difference between your body moving and pressure in your feet.
Yes.
You know? And so I think that's a concept too that we can get into as we go. But just, let's say, just to start with, as I'm understanding this, I'm 50-50 or maybe even 60-40 here to start with. And then I feel like my body is staying more over the ball with my iron, right, for low point. But in reality, there's going to be some shifting going on into my right foot.
Yes.
And then I'm gradually feeling the pressure working forward kind of throughout the entire downswing motion.
Yeah, and that's from, just as we talked about a little bit off camera, how the mass really of your upper body is working in the downswing. So I think that's really important to have this low point control, is getting that sternum really ahead of the ball, moving our shoulders ahead of our hips is what really puts all of that pressure and mass on that lead side.
And like progressively.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let me feel that here. So I'm gonna feel like I'm 55 left, kind of 45 right. I'm feeling like I'm staying more there to me at the top and then progressive throughout the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah. I still feel that hands like up and back part on the way back. Yeah. But the shifting progressively. Now, when I'm here like this, and if there's some mass movement to the right, I mean, definitely when I'm not with my irons, like I'm not saying, all right, well, hey, if I'm going 70, 80% to the right, kind of by halfway back, I'm not getting like this wildly to the right with. There could be some little movement.
Yes.
Right, but I'm staying more centered as I work up to the top, and then progressively down and forward. Let's do one more like that. So 50, 50, 60, 40.
Really nice.
Yeah, good. And then if I grab that driver, JT, let me grab that, my driver here. And I'm feeling the same thing. Let me just walk this, make sure I'm doing this correctly. Let's say I'm 50-50 to start with. And there can be some margin there too, right? Depending upon sort of what the player wants to do. Let's say I'm 50-50 here. Here I'm feeling my sternum, my head a little bit to the right, so there's a little bit more movement to the right of my foot. So if I'm going back, maybe I'm 70-80% on my right foot by like halfway back?
Yes, and that's from moving that upper body more off of the ball. That's really important to do this aggressive shift. If we're on the backswing, right, and we're getting our upper body too much on top of the ball and we shift even more, that's what we see honestly with a lot of slicers, guys who hit too far down on the ball.
This?
Yes, and then they, you know, this wouldn't be for them. They would go even more forward. So it's really important with this driver that the upper body is controlling where the pressure in the feet is going. So that mass there is moving to the right, and then we're shifting it quickly on top of our lead leg. Exactly.
Quickly in transition.
Quickly in transition.
Let me just do a little one here. Yeah. So I'm here, I'm up and to the right, and then I'm kind of quickly back down. But like you mentioned, up and the little bit to the right part, making sure the pressure that's shifting in my feet's happening from that. It's not my head staying centered and I'm shifting right this way with sway.
It's the upper mass that's doing that.
Let's just do a little half one here with that. Good.
Really
we got
nice.
A little downwind ranger, so I'm just trying to think these a little bunt
just
shot.
bun them down there.
Okay,
Don't want to take anybody out today.
Yeah, make sure I didn't kill someone down there. So that's the weight shifting part. I think the key pieces to highlight is the progressive with the iron, a little bit faster with the driver. Setup and backswing you can see different ranges with, but I think if you look across the board on the downswing, it's fairly universal for low handicap players, that movement. So hit down with the irons, shift it a little bit more progressively, faster forward, then a little bit more up and out with the driver, hit up on a hit far. That sound about right?
Sounds right.
All right, cool, thanks. Guys, you guys enjoyed this video. We're gonna put another video similar to this, put a card on the screen. Go ahead and watch that one. If you'd like to work with JT and I over at Cogorno Golf, we'll put that logo on the screen. We'd love to see you there.